Hey, THLers! It's Sunday. I'm your host, Mr. Saku, bringing it in here for Sunday Showdown. Got a couple individuals here that are joining me yet again, and I forgot to change the title of the show. Still Salty Saturday, so I'm behind. Want to introduce Kotamura.
How it goes?
How you doing, man? Been on here 3 times this week, as we mentioned in the green room.
I never left. I just stayed in.
That's right.
Been sitting here the whole time.
We both camped there. Now Fish was sick, so I stepped in for him, and Cordamora was kind enough to spare some time to do some wonderful stuff this week. So then we have local favorite, PHL favorite, Don. How you doing, sir?
Hello. Wow. Lovely to be here. I swear we're not keeping Kotamora locked up in the basement or anything like
help.
that. It's all totally fine. It's consensual. No, we're doing great. We're doing great tonight. Yeah, I'm excited for this match that we've got lined up.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
So the lineups we got, we have Mage, Paladin, Priest, Shaman versus Mage, Paladin, and then Rogue and Warlock. Kind of just looking at the lineups, I mean, where are you thinking the advantages lie, or kind of what are the strategies between these two lineups?
Well, first of all, this is Hero Series semifinals. Let's hype it up a little bit here. Get excited.
That's why we bring you.
This is the second match of this series. It's Extraterrestrials versus At Least I Don't Have Chicken. Right now, Extraterrestrials are leading 4-2. So just one match played there, always just in time, getting taken down by Yo Daddy. 3-2 win there for Yo Daddy. Really big win in that 2 seed. But now we will have that 3 seed match. It's Trido 2 versus CMAC. And oh man, this is a crazy 3 seed match. These are two really good players. And we've got, like you said, the Mage, Paladin, Priest, Shaman versus the Mage, Paladin, Rogue, Warlock. So CMAC favoring that Rogue and Warlock. Trido going more for that Priest and Shaman. Looking at those, and any sort of predictions on bans? I mean, they both agree on Mage and Paladin being strong. Do you think one of the bans goes there, or is there a different strategy here? Obviously, a Hero Series is last hero standing, so you are able to kind of target things and bring things that are a little bit more unique if you want to answer a specific matchup.
Yeah, it really comes down to what you believe. I mean, it's weird because I was casting yesterday, and we saw the out of nowhere Warlock ban, and it ended up playing out to a win. So I guess nothing's impossible. On this Priest, is it Boar? Is it going to be the Naga? I mean, it's definitely not going to be Quest Priest, right? Can we throw that one out at least?
I think so.
Question mark?
Question mark. I think so, but you never know. Maybe there's a line there, maybe into like if you're anticipating a Holy Paladin. Maybe I don't even know if that's that. Any sort of deck that just has value like that outvalues Holy Paladin. So if you're expecting Holy Paladin, maybe, but probably not. I think probably not. I think you'd rather go Boar Priest in that case anyway. So I think you're probably right.
Are you ready for bans?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Hit us with the bans.
Trido's Mage is banned.
Okay.
And CMAC's Paladin's banned. And both players are ready to go if you guys are ready to go.
Well, there you go. So they both agree. They said, we like Mage and Paladin. I think I like targeting this way, and you like targeting that way. They both brought the complementary decks there in those other two. So we will see a fun little matchup here with, I believe, no decks, no potential mirror matches.
That's right.
So that'll be fun.
So for our viewers out there, we're going to have CMAC Comp H, who is going to be at the bottom of the screen, or first to spectate. And then we got Trido at the top of the screen there, representing EP.
Any predictions on the first springs for each?
If they're both thinking that same line of Mage and Paladin are my strongest, or vice versa, maybe they bring those first. But if that is the case, maybe there's a different strategy there for the Paladin. For who has the Paladin left? It's
Trido.
Right,
Trio.
Trio still has the Paladin. So Trio could bring the Paladin, but maybe if they're anticipating the Mage, that's not as good of a thought. So I don't know. That's an interesting one. Maybe if you're expecting that the Mage is brought, you don't bring the
Yeah, the
Paladin. But if you
levels.
think it's all different levels here, and it looks like we are in, so let's see exactly what they have brought here today.
We're starting with the Mage for CMAC, and then Trito's bringing the Paladin.
So yeah, they didn't get to that next level that I was thinking there for a moment. It was just, these are the two strongest I have, or the strongest that I have after you banned out the other one. I'm going to bring this one. And I think in that situation, this is favoring CMAC for the options here. It looks like it's going to be Big Spell Mage.
Big Spell
from
or
CMAC.
Pain? Oh, Big Spell. Yeah.
No, it's Big Spell. Come on, look at this. But yeah, it's probably Big Spell Mage. You're right. There was always a potential for Ping, but no, who's bringing Ping Mage? And then on the other side, the Paladin looks like it's hand buff. Interestingly, so maybe try and answer the Mage early if you're able to kind of get things going. I'm a little worried about this one for Trido, but we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, hand buff needs some time to get going, which is what Big Spell Mage wants. And then I think Big Spell Mage just could put out bigger minions faster, and it just has a stronger late game. But there's always that chance that Paladin just gets rolling and just kind of tempos out.
Yeah, and right now getting a little bit of that tempo and a big amalgam coming down. Gonna start, pushing some damage here. Finding the Seafloor Savior to maybe, dredge something nice right now.
Would you ever consider, I know the play here is Treasure Grab, but is there like a tempo play with Smothering Starfish in the next couple plays?
I think there definitely is a thought there, especially because, you haven't seen much else. This could still be Mech Paladin or something like that, and they could be running, ways to buff with that, what is that weapon called? The jewel kit that we see right there. So, it plays around the jewel kit a little bit if you think they have it in hand and they want to make some trades anyway. In this case, did not have the jewel kit just yet. And CMAC, I think, maybe having a read, decided not to do that.
Both runes in early. I mean, that's, it's going to happen because you're drawing your big spells, but you can't cycle those back, which is the only downside to drawing those two.
Yeah, it does mean Belinda's a guaranteed 10-10, I guess. It's a negligible benefit when you do find it.
I'd rather have the trade-off than the extra point on stats for
Probably.
Belinda. But, Spamy's good. Pelican Diver.
Spammy here lines up quite well. Able to get a full clear. Does clear off your 3-4 because you do have to make that trade, but not the worst result there. And
there's also, if you play Pelican Diver and ping off, and then
trade, value trade. That's also a solid option. But it looks like CMAC just saying, I'm going to be safe here. There's no reason to go crazy. They've invested a lot in this board.
Mm-hmm.
Does have the tail in here to answer and start cycling a little bit more. There's the Belinda we talked about, and
on curve,
perfectly gets the 10-10. I mean, this worked out okay, I'd say. I don't think this is your average situation, but that was quite nice. And those really cheap Drakefire amulets can come down next turn into Greatheart Sage Parrots, and then I think it's just off to the races. I don't think the Paladin can recover from that. We'll see, though. Maybe able to survive with the Carriel long enough, but that's 2 turns away with that nerf. So
you got Carriel and you got Smite in hand. You do have the Samuro for the buffs and kind of potential clears. So there's obviously chances.
I think the Drakefire amulet has to come down here. Just put that pressure on, and it is going to be the case. 8-8 or 4-12. Pressure it is. And Matron's always fun.
Matron's always fun, yeah. Then do you drop and then get the free hero power to freeze off, or are you just not really worried about anything that's on the board right now?
You might actually ping off the 1/1, then play the Snow Fury, so you have the ping next turn for the freeze. There's nothing really worth freezing here. Yeah,
You
so
can't
I
do
would
both.
just ping. Yeah, I would just save
Oh, okay, yeah.
the Snow Flurry. Yeah, it's just not worth it here to do the ping. I think so. To the Snow Flurry ping. Sorry.
Yeah.
Doesn't really change anything. You would be freezing a 1/4 that's not really doing much. So anyway,
The
Trido
Reckoning?
here.
Do you do Reckoning
Reckoning's
or
interesting.
card draw?
Yeah, Reckoning it is. Just has to slow down this pressure.
If he plays it, I think it's an easy read, right? So I don't think you're swinging in with the big minions,
No.
but you do lose the value on the 412.
Yeah, I mean you could. Yeah.
Or just hold off, but I doubt. I mean,
I think you don't hold off here at
yeah,
all.
I don't.
But, that is a big Blade Master. Did get that buff earlier, so is able to get a pretty nice clear on one of the minions there, which does just make this a little bit more complicated. But I think yeah, that's probably just going to go in, play around the Reckoning, and Great Sage Parrot, redo that Drake Fire. And then you can follow up with the Snow Flurry ping if you want onto the Samuro. Or alternatively,
Dawngrass Pelican or trade. Yeah, Dawngrass Pelican. I like this. It kind of sets up board control. All right, he just trades it away. Oh, wait, there we go. I thought for a second he traded the Drake Fire. I like this play. I mean, you develop your hero power, and then you put some board control on the board.
Yeah, this is somewhere in between. It lets you get that board control, like you said. Still applies pressure, but you get that hero power online. It's currently at 2, so might motivate this Samuro trade here.
But it's leading right into like double rune, assuming on 9-10. So, but with nothing on the board, it doesn't have as much value. So I think you hold off, right, and then maybe play the other Drake Fire. Oh, right on time.
That is perfect. Yeah, that is exactly what we want to be seeing. And with that, could go Gray Sage Parrot to just do another Drake Fire, or just the Drake Fire and save the Parrot for a rune if you're thinking that's going to give you the win later. It looks like even holding all of those back here.
Yep. If you're not playing the outpost now, when are you going to play it? So it's like one of those things of like, if you're going to play it, might as well play it now.
I just think if we can apply a lot more pressure than this, and inevitably, like we are on a clock, it's not as fast now. And they're on a much faster clock, but they still have that smite lethal, always as a potential later on in the game, especially with just the more turns you give them to do the blessing. This is putting things off one turn. It's probably okay, but and it is baiting out, them playing more stuff so you can get a good rune off.
Yeah.
But I kind of did like just setting up pressure.
Did trade away the Drake.
Yeah, C-Mac just saying, if I just play the long game, which maybe this is really the strategy you should be using, no need to rush. C-Mac saying, if I just play the long game, I apply a little bit of pressure, scale up my hero power, and really only rip these runes and stuff as a last resort if I need to. I can just win that way. I'm able to chip away, and they're going to have to keep playing things that I can answer.
We do see the counter the first one. And again, these are just one more mana, right? It's inefficient. We do see an easy removal. But that's a decent amount of damage coming back with the hero power.
Yeah, the smite getting hit a couple times there. Or, the one time, but still.
One sometime is enough. But, this time, do you get greedy with this, trying to hit some spell? But there's not a lot of spells in hand buff.
Yeah, not a lot of spells. Maybe more thinking about the taunt, just to prevent any sort of weird shenanigans. And now I was wondering, do you ever make this trade to boot? I don't know. Yeah, I guess you're trading the Pelican Diver here, powering. What's the?
Or do you want to? Yeah, I guess this.
Yeah, I thought maybe we trade the Snow Flurry just to get the hero power even bigger, but I understand holding back and just using the Pelican that you have the rush for. But a 6 damage hero power would have been pretty nice.
Yeah, squeezing those buffs into your hero power is always a good thing. Gets good value out of this. Taunts in the way now, but this seems like a good room turn. Or is there?
I think it's just lethal here with
I forgot about the silence.
Yeah, so worked out either way there for CMAC. Takes the win with the mage, and that's really I think been the big surprise here with the new meta. Just big spell mage really dominating, and with that hand buff pound out of the way, what do you think Trido can have as an answer for this deck? It's going to be tough. Last year's inning, like we said, so that mage is going to keep on trucking here. Paladin out of the game. No chance to get a win with that. Is this a priest trying to answer this, or is this going to be some sort of shaman? Looks like it's going to be the shaman.
Shaman, yeah. I was going to say you go with shaman here, but it doesn't give us a read on what the priest is, but he doesn't like his chances. So
yeah.
Oh, and just straight Murloc? Yeah, this is straight Murloc shaman. It's not that control version. This is just wants to go fast, wants to get underneath it.
Yeah, this might be the answer. Yeah, this definitely has a chance. The control version would have probably been too slow, so definitely makes sense if this is your bring here as the shaman to bring this to try to answer. And we might have a game here depending on how this draw goes for both players.
It's not the best draw, but maybe Trido can pick up something in the next one or two to kind of get going.
This is not a bad curve to start. You have we just go to Sir Finley. We can get 2 Marlocks down. We have not the best hero powers. Yeah. I guess it's got to be make a dude. Do you coin out? No, I think hold back is totally fine as well. We can always next turn guarantee the forager with the mercenary for a board.
Yeah, I like that. At least getting some synergy. Oh, we see it's not
quite enough.
I think it's still the same play. I think you just
I was wondering, like, we could have coined out last turn. It's the same difference, I guess. We could have pushed maybe one more damage. I guess this could have been frozen based on what we saw, but
double taunts early for the mage is always a good sign. Gives them a chance to draw something.
Absolutely. This South Coast Chieftain can clear off the Snow Flurry here. It's not terrible, but not much else to do. It's a little bit slow, this hand. Getting that Brucan early, Bloodlust early. No fin can stop us is okay, but yeah, it looks like we're just gonna try to
go
preserve this board. Yeah, I was wondering that might have been the play. It's kind of awkward either way, but I guess utilizing the mana there, and this is a really good hand for CMAC to fight off of this early onslaught. Has all the freezes, has the taunts, and the armor gain in that evoker.
Is there? I mean, I see the value in freezing now, but you're leaving 2 mana. Is there something where, you have one more taunt in hand. Is it possible maybe just pinging and then saving the freeze for next turn to go with a deep water invoker as a possibility? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a bad thought. Right now, though, few options. Gonna go for that evoker. It looks like here. Finds that Drake frame, can trade that away.
Easy trade.
And I think you just trade off the Clownfish, and this is looking pretty good here for CMAC. We're at 40 health. 2 cards. We don't know, but 2 cards in their hand are essentially dead at this point, at least for now.
And we have Belinda coming down next turn. It's going to be big fat, at least
very large Belinda. Okay, 10-10 Belinda.
10-10.
I think that seems like a good play. And then, you don't need to win right now. You just clear off the 6-3. No need to value trade. Oh, really? Yeah. Feeling confident. I like it.
Well,
I like it. Value trades are good too.
Yeah, Yeah, Valley Trade's good. I mean, also, I don't know. I mean, is there? Yeah, just gonna go fake. Oh, big turn. Just get the damage in while you can,
Yeah.
and then
Hope that something
just
from his
gonna race.
Brucon maybe. Yeah. Going to go for the race here.
Now we do see Drake Fire. What do we get for? Oh,
Okay,
oh,
taunt is huge here. That could seal the deal. Now going to make that trade here for C-Mac. So it does get a little bit of value, does take quite a lot of damage, and C-Mac really respecting
just gonna go.
anything that could come out here.
Yeah. He wins. I mean, just as long as he keeps minions off the board. So I think both lines work, but this one's just the safer of the two.
Yeah, this is looking tough. It's even if you get the perfect Brucon into, the hero, this 6 damage hero power. That's still 2 turns and 1 damage short. Even if you get the 6 damage into the follow-up hero power that gets you there. So this is going to be very, very tough for Trido. I don't know what's left in the deck that can get us there. I mean, it's even the Brucon here won't be enough.
Yeah, it kind of comes down, just says no more minions, or maybe it'd have to be minions at this point. Because I don't think there's a spell. There's typically only one Bloodlust in the Shaman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is going to be the Brucon coming down, but it's just not going to be enough here. Can get those taunts and 6 damage face and hope, I guess, that you can connect 1 damage some other way. I don't know how you do it. No, so actually going to have to just heal to try to stay alive here. Does find the right hero power. It is not playable. I think it's going to switch, though, by next turn. So
yeah, it's going to switch. It should switch.
Yeah, that is going to just be it there for Trido, and that means the Mage taking a 2-0 lead. It's going to have to be the Priest here to take it down. I think it's going to have to be a miracle from the Priest to get this going. This is a tough matchup.
Well, if there's any deck that can pull off a miracle, it is the Priest.
Yeah, I suppose we'll have to see what comes out here, but I don't know that we're going to see any of the other decks here from C-Mac in this match, and this is going to be a very big win there after Justin took the loss for At Least I Don't Have Chicken earlier. It's going to be a big, big boost, and it is going to be Priest, and it looks like it is just Naga Priest.
Which does have chances, though. I mean, if it gets him early, he's got to be aggressive, get the wigs early, and get some minions to stick.
Full mulligan finds 2 wigs and the handmaiden there and the coin. So I mean, this could be something soon. Pelican is found there for C-Mac to try to contest an early board, though. And I'm curious about this play, actually. Why did we do that?
The only reason why would be to activate your wigs.
But again, we know it's going to get traded off, so you can't play your wigs, which you need to do to play your handmaiden. That I think you had to wait a turn. I don't know. That was really, and now you're. I don't know. This is.
I'm not saying it was a line. I mean, the reason why you would do that is to activate, right?
Right, but if you wait a turn, you can activate and play one at least, or something. And I don't know. I think not being able to play it on the same turn with this type of hand is going to be very, very hard. We do get a little rewarded here in that there's no way to answer this Slither Spear now, and it might be able to start getting going before C-Mac can find an answer. Deep Water Evoker going to keep him alive a little bit longer, though.
Yeah. In the 9, it is substantial enough to where, the Blessed Kill maybe pushed off one additional turn, but we do see a lot of card draw now. This is really where Priest can get rolling.
Yeah, this is certainly a good position to be in. It finds also that critical elemental, which is going to be able to cycle a lot more here in the next coming turns. Just going to try to connect with the face here. Protects it just enough from both of these minions, but can be pinged down, which might just have to be the play here for C-Mac. Clear off this big minion. and just have to do that once again. Could actually clear off both, choosing not to and holding onto the coin for probably an earlier rune if possible, or yeah, I guess that would be the answer, because you could have played Reckless coin ping and cleared both, but getting the taunt down and saving the coin, I like that line for sure.
And giving him the extra coin, though, is not that you need the extra activators with both wigs in hand, but it's another spell technically. Now just a plethora of options for Trido. Ooh,
yeah, needs to
devour.
Be cycling these wigs, and the blessed, like you said, pretty good to get soon. Goes for the devour though.
He just wants big minions that can't be removed. Is really kind of the game plan here. Is just get them so big that they're not easily dealt with.
Yeah.
And then just draw the bless later in the game. Plays the amalgam.
Finds another handmaiden to get some more card draw. That's going to be really nice. Buffs the handmaiden a little bit more here.
And now this is not. You definitely want to cycle that. See what you get.
Okani could slow things down a little bit. Does have enough spells and minions, I think, that it won't be too big of a deterrent and can just trade into it before playing anything. So does heal 6, I suppose, is the thought process here.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
More worry about the spells or the minions? What's actually the more?
I think it's not going to matter here.
Yeah.
Unless you expect Trido to start playing spells first or minions first before doing any trade. But I think it's always going to be this handmaiden, makes that trade first and buff everything else.
Does draw the bless. So this is
does draw the bless. I don't know if there's any weird lethal situation here. I don't think so.
Oh, you did have the ability to get 4 health, 3 health. Yeah.
No, I mean you have to get to 34, so that's probably unlikely here. But this is definitely making a good case here. We're still for CMAC. We have 1 coin, so we're 2 turns away from that rune, which is going to have to be the Hail Mary, I think, at this point.
Or Starfish is his other out, really, to kind of put a pause. Right?
Of course, yes. If you're able to find the Starfish, would slow things down a little bit. But we're taking some damage here now if we do go with this Bless to finish things off.
And just go for it.
How much damage are we looking at, actually? 21. We play another Handmaiden, another 3, 5. If you play them again, wait, is that just lethal? Wait, hold on. It's very close. It's very close. 29, 31, 33. Oh, yeah, if you have to get the swing in, and then the 2-2 has to go in as well.
See,
31. Oh, no, it was 1 off. Oh, man. But, I mean...
You got to go for it.
You got to go for it. That does mean, though, if the... Oh, no, that is going to be...
Even Starfish isn't enough, right?
Yeah, even Starfish isn't enough. You'd have to Starfish into a heal or armor or something. Oh, Spammy.
Yeah, you're not getting the 31.
Not getting the 31 here, but can, finish off with some fireworks before moving on to the next game.
Ooh.
And that is going to be the case. Ping off, bound lethal. CMAC gets the full sweep with the... I'm just kidding.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. He killed himself. He wins.
How good would it be if that was actually a way we played the game?
Yeah. Oh, I've got you in checkmate. Or do I have you in checkmate?
Oh, so now we got... Priest got through, so, Mage has been overcome.
Yeah, Mage has been overcome. Naga Priest, now the deck to beat. Do we think it's a Warlock here? No, it's going to be that...
It's going to be the Rogue, right?
The Rogue, yeah, sorry. My brain for a second.
No.
I was like, this was banned. But it is... Wait, this was banned. Was it not? Was it not? This is actually the Paladin. It doesn't matter because it's always the Priest, but...
It does matter for them because that should be a loss, right?
Is it? I don't know, because it's always the Priest at this point. I don't know how the rules work. It doesn't change the cues at all or any knowledge. It only changes like the one person's mulligan, right? Because it's always the priest and hero series.
Yeah. That's a good.
So
point.
if you miscue a deck that you're not allowed in, they noticed it before. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably fine.
I think it's sportsmanship. Just allow it to go. It's just a mistake, right? It's playoffs.
Yeah.
I think usually
so.
if a card hasn't been played or if it's spotted.
Yeah, a card hasn't been played. It was a mistake that didn't affect any knowledge. So.
Just head faked. Priest is left, so there's no debating what Trito is bringing.
Right. Anyway, it's Hero Series, so regardless of if Priest was left, the winner is always bringing the same deck. So.
Yep.
That was never.
But we have to stir up controversy.
Controversy, absolutely. But CMAC, I think just recalibrating here, thought they had the Paladin left maybe. But yeah, I think Rogue could be an option here for sure. Boat Rogue can definitely take this deck down.
Can Mine Rogue? I mean, Mine Rogue can do it as well if it happens to be Mine Rogue. If you want,
Mine Rogue can do it if it hits. Otherwise, it does get smorked down, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
there's always that chance. Yeah,
we saw on Wednesday night how fast Mine Rogue goes. It was like turn 4, turn 5.
Yeah, if it does that, it's fine. Yeah, it can definitely win in those situations. Are they just maybe debating the rules here, discussing quickly?
I think they're just double checking to make sure that there's not a thing where, like, even if you don't get the game lost, does your opponent get to choose what class you bring next? But again, to your point, there's no knowledge that was gained, right? It was
right. Maybe it's you get to choose out of the two, which would, I guess, it doesn't really matter too much besides points here. Potentially, if CMAC feels one deck's the other, but at the other side, Trito doesn't really have the knowledge of what actual decks they are yet. So.
Right.
There's no really true benefit.
Just classes. So I mean, there's a little benefit if you think one class can't beat Naga Priest at all, but there's definitely, I think, in both sides options that could do it.
If nothing else, it does put does it throw you off mentally when you make a mistake like that, right? And you bring the wrong deck, like, oh man, why did I do that?
Right after the first game loss into miscue, I mean, certainly could.
And you're upstream. Not saying that this is a high stress situation, but some people, they while they like being on stream, it adds an additional layer to the situation. It's playoffs.
Absolutely, yeah. There's definitely some there's a good amount running on here for both players, and they're going to want to win this for their teams. So, and then adding people spectating certainly can have an effect. What are you saying, Saku?
I just messaged CMAC to see if they were okay, and he said I queued a banned deck. So just double checking the rules here on the site.
Yeah, this is Hero Series. All
right.
The governing bodies says.
Yeah, so what ended up happening is that Trito is miscued with a banned deck, so that means that Trito gets to choose which class he gets the loss.
Yeah.
So now it's game 5, so it's...
there is a loss for that? Okay.
There's a loss for
it. In Hero Series as well? Wow, I did not know that. Okay.
Yep. So they are going to...
Rules as stated.
Just trying to find the rule itself for it, but yeah. So unfortunate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hero Series. So my opponent banned a class that did not bring blah blah blah. Player connected. My opponent queued an invalid deck. I guess that's where it might fall under. Is during the first game. During the first game, the player who queued an invalid deck receives a game loss, and the opposing player receives a game win with the deck they queued. So if they queued Priest, obviously
it wasn't
Priest
the first
won.
game. Yeah.
So
but it wasn't the first game.
So,
but that's just for the first game, correct? Because this wasn't.
Yeah, it says after the first. It says after the first game is played. Wasn't the first game.
Yeah.
If the queuing mistake is caught in the mulligan stage and the game is stopped with a concession, the players will requeue the game with eligible decks.
Yeah.
They caught it in the mulligan
back.
stage. It shouldn't be a game loss.
Yep.
Well, we're not the appliers
Oh wait,
of the said
the
rule.
viewing mistake is not. It was caught in the mulligan stage. No, it was caught in the mulligan. So there's no. Because that was not the first game, so we already knew what decks had to be played. That's the whole argument, right? We already knew what deck. That's why it's after the first game. Because first game you don't know which what you're bringing, but after that, one of them is already guaranteed. So
okay, so it's game 4. Trito.
It should be game 4. Yeah. Did you communicate that to them? I did look at the rules. And
Trito's actually texting right now, so
okay.
Good.
He's the one.
We're all good. Game 4 requeued.
We just want to see 5 games.
It's all kosher. Yeah, I just want this to be an honest, bout and following the rules as they're stated. And now we have, like you said, it is that priest. Does not have a wig just yet, but does have the thrive to try to find it. CMAC obviously with the rogue here. I'm hoping they communicated the maester thing. I'm sure it's obvious, but still. I don't want any more weird missteps.
Yeah.
And we do see the wig come in hand for Trito though, so
yeah, able to fight off that thrive is big. On the other side, just consider clearing this with Wicked Step Fillet Fighter, fight for the board and clear this. It looks like that is going to be the case. Just wants to get things moving. That does mean that we are done discounting, at least with our current hand, any of those potential nulls we could find off of Shroud, but able to fight off, you really don't want them to get snowballing with the Serpent Wig, so I think CMAC making a good read there.
And even without the full discount, I still think having the ability with Rush to just challenge minions on board is always just a value. So he still has that.
Yeah, and it's gonna be cheap. It's just not full discount. Reconnaissance could help make it even more cheap. So we're gonna start off with that prep Shroud. See if we can find one. The nerfed version is not gonna be quite as good here, but could be okay. Gone Fishing going to come down. Shadowmaster Scabs could be good eventually. We might have to. It's kind of like a reset button, at least for a turn. No. Going for the Edwin here instead. And are we going to
coin hero power and just clear the board?
Yeah, just clear this off. Yeah. Makes sense
to me. Are you just dropping the Viper just for more minions on board? Or are you just are you going to trade it away to try to dig deeper?
I think it really depends on this board we're going to see here on the other side. Could definitely. Finds another Serpent Wig. That won't recycle though, I believe. With the
it does not
off the.
So Dredge may be worthwhile here. Even Whisper of the Deep is something that you can use to kind of clear the other side.
Could also could go face with something big and clear the other side in a desperate situation. Now, I don't know if we're going to get there, but it is an interesting option. It looks like
Dredge.
Yeah, just going to go for the simple one. No need to overthink it. That's a pretty good top deck. A turn too early or too late, I guess, depending on who you're asking.
Does trade it away.
Yeah, so not valuing the board presence just yet. Going to probably trade this away as well. Yeah, that is the case. Finds the Tooth. That's a pretty good pickup here. And able to clear this off. Let's see what spell we find. Anything good. Add a random colossal minion to both players' hands.
I mean,
yes.
If you're gonna roll the dice, just roll it.
Yeah, roll the dice. Go. Let's go.
CMAC's good for chance, so we're good.
That's what I like to see.
You never know what you're gonna end up with when you're playing Rogue. Like it's never the deck you start with. Does Dredge? Let's see here. Ooh,
Hexen. Able to get a Handmaiden with a wig in your hand's not bad. Hexen, not really anything to take at this point, so I don't mind.
Not until the Colossus comes down.
That's right.
Queen of Shara's good
Queen
value.
of Shara is a really nice pickup. Just the same argument there as the Handmaiden. Just gives you that value and things to do once you run, because eventually you will run out of minions to play, even with the wigs. On the other side, going to go for another Tooth here.
Another spell?
Finding all the other spells. Ooh.
Bracing Cold and,
To the front is interesting. I guess you're really only like later on if you get Shadow Master Scabs to the front, you can get like a crazy cheap Edwin smite situation going. And that maybe is what C-Mac's thinking here.
Well, that and the Colossus, and then into to the front, right? So now it's 4 less.
Oh, interesting. So going to actually do the Colossus second. That does mean that your opponent does have the initiative there, but finds Azumat. I don't think I've seen anyone play this guy.
People have played it, but not very well.
It seems not great. But, Neptulon, on the other hand, pretty good. Like, okay, especially at 8. I would play that at 8, no question.
But even with that, I mean, the board's getting a little bit out of hand. He's got to start
absolutely
taking control of this.
Yeah, this is not the situation you want to be in. Kravito is going to help clear off 2 of these crucial minions, that Elemental and the Slither Spear. Actually, you can clear off the Queen's Guard too. So you can clear off 3 of the minions, only leaving up that Nagaling. It's not great, but what's the alternative here?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to get close enough to where it's just 1 minion, and then hope he doesn't have the stuff to go off.
So I guess you trade 1 into the 3/4. Your face into the. Why did you do that order?
Yeah, I don't.
Now you're taking 1 extra damage. Okay, that's fine.
Hey,
it's 1 damage.
Doesn't come back.
Who's counting?
Yeah, who's counting? I mean, life is a resource, right? We're allowed to spend it.
That's right. Life is a resource. Okay. Queen Ashara going down here, just getting more value. We can just see the Battle of the Colossus this game. It looks like we're hovering that for Trito, just really wanting to just drop big bomb after big bomb. I mean, Ring of Tides is really good in this matchup. Ring of Tides is really good. You get another Serpent Wig for free. It's almost has to always be that, but I did see Trito thinking about colossal plays.
You don't know what Colossal's on the other side, right? And it's always Shadow Step is interesting. That's 11 damage facing you.
It is 11 damage, and there's now the potential for 2 wigs to cycle next turn. So there's a very good chance there's a lethal here. They only need to find 5. If they have the second Radiant, then you're probably dead. Even without it, they can get 4, I think, pretty easily, and maybe get that 5th. So on the other side, just going for that to the front, get the Edwin going, and that's a pretty good combo with Edwin just by itself, the to the front, because everything you're pulling, that's going to be nice. All the minions you find just going to be cheaper. Choosing to and now the cycle ends, unfortunately. Going to be able to clear one of these minions off. Is it going to be enough, though? Yeah, just drop the peasant, but this might just be lethal here. We play Handmaiden, double Serpent Wig. Oh, no, I don't think it is, because we have to play the Handmaiden first. So, So double Serpent Wig does come down here into...
But Bless may do it.
The Bless will do it. The Bless is going to do it, and that is going to be a 2-2 game here. This series now tied up. We are going to be going into a game 5. 1 damage didn't matter there. It would have been 11 anyway. So good calculations there from C-Mac. And now down to that game 5 has to be some sort of Warlock answer to this Naga Priest. What could it possibly be? Murloc Warlock, I guess, would be.
Murloc could run it. Curse can still. Curse has the ability to control the board. Curse can control the board early, and then has the board clears late and fills their hand. So I can definitely see that line. I also see the Murloc line, just trying to be aggressive and run under it. We do see the Curse, so here we go.
Yeah, I think probably not bring the Murloc, assuming you'll get to this point. You're hoping that this isn't going to be the situation you're in. But it is going to be the case, and not a totally lost matchup, but I think the Naga Priest has a slight edge here, just able to get on that board quickly. But it does need to be those wigs, and right now Trito, no wigs in the hand, does have the Bless. as well as that Handmaiden to get things cycling once we find some more spells. But
No, you dump
just
the
gonna
whole.
toss
Oh, that's
everything.
not what you
Yeah.
want. That's not the mulligan you want. I mean, you can thrive for the wigs, but
Yeah, you can definitely get those wigs pretty early. That's not terrible, and then you thin your deck as well, which is
But the problem is
bad.
you're giving
giving them
Warlock time. You're
Yeah.
giving them time to just kind of, and you see the Dredge Belows kind of early board into the Okani. I mean,
Yeah.
and
No,
even
absolutely. It's
yeah.
not the best situation, but it's not
Ooh,
the absolute
Gigafin.
worst either. Gigafin is a good pickup.
Oh, Abyssal Wave. This is the hand you want as Curse Lock. All the control.
Absolutely.
2 answers, 2 board clears on board, single target, buy some time, draw some cards. Let's go.
Well, there's a target for that first dredge below to get things started potentially.
And I think you do take it. I don't think you try to squeeze anymore because the problem is it can get way out of hand. To get too big for your dredges.
Yeah,
right?
I think the alternative was here is the Okani to
Okani.
just play around. Either spell here is pretty
Spell.
good. Yeah, it is going to be spell, and that is going to counter the thrive, I imagine.
It does make the next turn a little awkward because, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you have nothing sitting on 4, so you're hanging a mana. Not that it matters too much, but
Oh, considering the priestess there, that was okay. Does get countered as we said, but the serpent's wig can come down, and you can get it cycled as well with that slither spear. So not a bad play. Alternatively, I mean, if we're feeling really saucy, could priestess and play another wig, but I like holding back. No need to rush. You already have. Well, you. The only argument would be to get the Handmaiden activated right now for next turn.
all right, we got Dredge Below, I mean, you could Zolo your Akani for another one. I think it's too slow, but Dredge Below seems like the natural target here. Just to start, unless you wanted a Hero Power Drain Soul, kind of for the same effect, right?
Yeah.
Um,
But I like getting the dredge below going. You kind of want to start cycling those curses, have them take damage as soon as possible. That's a good pickup, though. Both Handmaidens in hand going to allow Trido to come back into this one. Finds the other wig as well. So even though that Thrive was taken out, does find that wig here pretty quickly with those double Handmaidens. And that's a big Slither Spear. We do have the damage with the dredge below and the Drain Soul to get through it, which I think is what we're going to see.
And the Cultist, 9 cards in hand too. So this
that is going to mill a card too, which works out pretty nicely here for CMAC.
And
still, yeah, and sets up. We have the Abyssal Wave potential next turn if they just go wide here. I mean, usually the priest goes tall, but it is going to have to play multiple minions to do that. So you can get rid of a good amount of them there with the Abyssal Wave.
And it's just about stalling till you get your Gigafins out, right?
Yeah. So try to recognizing that damage threshold of 4. Trying to keep one minion big enough to survive that if possible.
Well, technically 6 can you trade in the Akani, right?
Yeah.
So
that is true. So that is.
Yep.
Well, not anymore. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Pretty good result there. It does leave 2 minions that survive an Abyssal Wave. Could also just play the Dreadlich here and hope for an Abyssal Wave next turn that maybe lands somewhat. You also could find some 3/3s to fight the board. You're really just trying to buy enough time for that turn 8.
And just put Abyssal Wave more in target, right? Yeah, you're just trying to get to turn 8. Which we don't see a Bless yet in hand, right? I mean, it's...
Yeah.
Oh, the Brian...
The Radiant Elemental, though, coming down does mean that we can start cycling these wigs a lot. Or this wig here. We have the Handmaiden.
Oh,
there's the Bless. This could be a lot of damage. And there is... what do you take here? Against the Queen's Guard. I mean, it's a big
But
big
it's
scribe, and there's that trade there to play a little bit around the Abyssal Wave. It was already dead either way, so I think we are going to see this Abyssal Wave, though. Do we Mortal Coil first? Do you want to, like, draw a card? I guess you just might as well just Rust Rot if that's the case.
Oh.
That's a pretty good amount of damage, but not enough to kill that big minion, so just going to hope there's no Bless lethal here. It will take a lot of cycling. So
is there value in just doing a lot of damage to it so its health is lower so the Bless is less effective? Right?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a thought there. This does set up for an entitled customer this turn, though, which isn't bad, and they're going to go wide, so you're hoping it can clear off this way. Maybe they're not expecting it right now, though. That is going to be out of range.
Yeah, you're going to have to Gigafin this.
Yeah. But it's going to be quite a Gigafin.
And we see, so we have...
Ooh, School Teacher could find some sort of potential answer. We do have the Bran, the Cultist is what you're thinking, the double Cultist.
Mm-hmm. They kind of reset the life.
4 curses.
He can't
we
get
might
the
have to
Samuro big
Zakiel.
enough. Yeah. I don't... Oh, he can with Bless, make it big enough so it kills off, get all the minions back.
Yeah, get all the minions back. Yeah, that's going to be the play.
But the Entitled then becomes a board clear, right?
Yeah, the Entitled will have a nice clear here. And that might seal it, actually, here for CMAC. This is going to be a really big Entitled customer.
Yeah,
the silence available later on. You just hear power here, and
no, I think you dropped the Cultist. Why
you just get the cultist. The only argument there is, if you save it, you can brand double Cultist, which probably gets you a lethal, but maybe you just have enough here. You could brand Zakiel next turn, which heals you up and does quite a lot of damage.
It does, 5/9. It's 5/6. It does 11 itself, right? With the 4, unless he plays it. Taking the Hexen doesn't feel good, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
Pick me.
But if that's 3/13.
Yeah, didn't get the heal though off of the Devouring Plague there, so that's going to be a little bit trickier. How much damage do we have? You might still have to just go for it for the heal. What is your alternative? How much damage can we get? You can Mortal Coil to start, just see what happens.
Yeah, just see what you draw. I mean,
I don't know what would change your play.
At most you want
the other customer maybe, and you just clear that way. Oh, yeah, there it
is. Called shot.
Yeah.
That's why you're a professional caster.
And we've got, I guess it's we're just holding, we're just going to play the Cultist now. Yeah, get it set up. It's going to take the damage.
Well, because you can always brand Zola the other Cultist and then play Cultist again, right? So a lot of options.
This is just going to be it here. This is going to be enough out of the curses. Could heal a ton as well if we want with the brand. Making a solid board here, but it's just going to be a lot of damage here. I think we're at, what was the last one? 5 fatigue?
4. Yeah, I think it was at. It was at 5. So this.
So the next ones will be 6, 7, and that should just be it. Doesn't even need to do it. Can just do 1
with style.
But with the style, gets the heals, and there is the series. CMAC with the 3-2 win. Both players get 2 wins with 1 deck and then find the victory elsewhere for that final one. CMAC finding the victory elsewhere with that final deck there. But both players almost able to sweep with 1 deck and just CMAC able to finish it off here with that.
What a roller coaster.
First Warlock. Yeah, it really was a roller coaster.
Yeah, played really well. And the timely, board removals, and that's the one thing about Naga Priest that has a hard time rebuilding once it gets going. So as long as you can keep it in check, you have chances. But it was able to reload several times, but just had the answers. Well played.
Yeah, really well played on both sides. I think was a well done series, and hopefully it's going to be some fun games in the other matches in that series. So that does bring the results. Let me see. That does mean that now at least I don't have chicken and extraterrestrials. That ties it up, doesn't it?
Yep.
So both
Yep.
at 6. We're essentially at like a best of 3 series now with Neji Boston versus A2 Battleship in that 1 seed remaining. Vampire Nighthawk versus Skirt Reynolds in that 4 seed, and Nomad Farmer and You Kitten Me in that 5 seed. Those 3 going to determine this Hero Series semi. I mean, well done by the other 2 matches. Both players are on both matches, but
Yep.
it's going to be a fun one.
We got C-Mac joining us. Congrats on the win tonight, sir, C-Mac.
Greetings.
Greetings,
Thanks.
sir.
Greetings. Really well fought battle there. A couple of, I think small errors on both sides, but fun stuff overall. Tell me a little bit about your lineup. I think, were you, after that mage when you had that really nice start, got the 2 wins, and then the priest, really close match there, but just too much pressure early. And then you had, you went in with your rogue hoping to get a win there. Were you worried then with that warlock left, or do you think, okay, I can do this, I can get the right cards, I can get this going? What were you feeling in that moment?
Yeah, it would have been a bit uphill, but I was actually kind of hoping the rogue was going to win, but, stuff happens.
Yeah, I'm sure you weren't hoping that the rogue was going to take a loss there, but I definitely, I can relate. I've been in that situation, certainly. But you weathered the storm. Had a couple of tough ones into the priest, but eventually the warlock found the way. Lots of damage available. I think there was like 4 different lines there at the end, but your line ended up getting you the win. Yeah. Any thoughts here, Kotamara, Saku? I mean, it was just a fun match to watch.
It was. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was kind of, we got to see both Mage and Priest show off a little bit. And then, you ending that streak there.
That the mage got off pretty quick against the paladin.
Yeah, I mean, the only question as always, I like talk about the prep going up to it. Kind of, what was your mindset kind of coming into the match and your prep work? What were you expecting to see? Was it what you thought it was? Any insights there?
Let's see. Yeah, his classes and archetypes are more or less what we were expecting. I think I kind of got him on the classes this week, so it's always nice when that happens.
It's always good when you think ahead and it lines up to where you wanted to, especially when it ends in the dub, right?
Right.
That's a perfect week.
Yeah, how's your team feeling going into the rest of the series? Like I was kind of talking about waxing poetic a little bit as I ramble, but yeah, we were talking about the 3 remaining matches in that series. Now it's totally tied up, so it's almost like a brand new series here for your teammates. Any thoughts for them going in? Without revealing any secrets, obviously, or things going in, but how do you feel with those? I guess your teammates Neji, Skirt Reynolds, and You Kitten Me to have to take you on to the finals here.
Let's see. It looks like Neji won 3-1.
Oh, Neji's game is already done. Okay. That has
So
not
let's
been
see.
updated.
Yeah, it's on the website now. So
What? It's not working for me.
F5.
F5.
I think he was playing about the same time as me, so it might, yeah.
All right, no worries. But okay, so that puts your team in the lead with that 3-1. That's going to be a nice lead to. I think still just need to win the next 2 or one of the next 2, but
Yeah, I've got faith in those 2, Skirt and Kitten. They'll get it done.
all right.
Cool.
You heard it
Awesome.
here first. If you're listening, CMAC has the faith. Skirt, Kitten, don't fail CMAC. Get the win. And extraterrestrials, best of luck as well to a Vampire Nighthawk and Nomad Farmer in their matches. It was fun to watch.
Yep.
Looking forward to hearing what happens with the rest of the series, though.
Thanks for joining us, C-Mac.
Of course. Thanks for having me. Thanks for casting, guys.
You got it, buddy. Take care.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that is our single game of the evening. We would have had Niji Boston and NJO, Nice Jewish Owl, on as well after this match, but looks like
They don't matter.
Bing Bong Big Top basically won 3 games in a row and collected up the Pro Series championship there for the season. Congrats to those guys. Super big team anyway, but aren't they all in pro?
Everyone's scary at that level. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. So
Oh yeah.
just trying to think of what's coming up. So Hearth Center on Tuesday is Fish is going to be running that. Lotus Knight still away on vacation and stuff. I'm not sure who's going to be on the show. Fish still kind of recovering from COVID as well, so hopefully you're feeling better, buddy. But he will be doing the opping, and they're going to have the as many of the Pro Series winners on the show as well. So tune in for that. I'm not sure what's going on Wednesday. Thursday is usually Wilding Out with Marty B or Hyprin. And then we're back to square one with all the matches on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So any final words before
playoff stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think everything's in playoffs, right? So stay
Yeah.
tuned for some good playoff gameplay.
Yep. Legacy should be wrapping up into the semifinals, and then Heroes would be the finals. Trying to think of where Wild is at this point. Anyway, I think they still got a couple more series to go. But anyway, tune into that on Hearth Center. They'll fill you in right in Wild and Out, obviously. So, any final words, Kodamora, before we go? In my end, Tom?
Send some water and some help. I've been here for over a week.
You're well fed, and we definitely water you at least once a day. So you're fine.
Yeah. Mine ended on playing too much League of Legends and just saying the word fed. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look forward to it. Exciting
I don't
week.
say it as much in League of Legends. You haven't seen me play. But
yeah, I'd like to thank our casters, thank our players for being on stream, and obviously our lovely viewers who help contribute to the THL itself. So thank you all, and we will see you next week. Take care.
Have a good
bye-bye.
one. Bye.